And just like that, we are live here at beautiful Miami Speedway, which is the oval form, not the road course. We will be headed to the road course next season, not this season. So, with that being said, our pole sitter being a McLaren, is going to be our beautiful Valvoline 44 Rocket, followed by the number 80 Ford Charging Light. Third place being Cramey and another McLaren. Fourth place being Critter, teammate to the number 5. And then rounding out the field, the only Chevy. 3 manufacturers here. So without further ado, we're going to get this party started. Is everybody ready? No, so once you see that green light pop up, you're going. So, get ready. Let me zoom out. So, start. And they're off. And just like that, we are live. Everybody needs to get up on the racing surface, and they do. 5 cars battle it out for 100 laps. And just like that, the Ford takes the lead. They're going to notice some differences in draft speeds here because it's not not as high of draft, to say the least, if any. So it's going to come down to who knows how to keep a more consistent line. Ooh, the 44 goes low, kills the 10. 44, you got to lose a spot. You went below the white, so let this 00 come and pass you on the next straight. There we go, you're good. And just like that, we are still green. You got those back 3, I got the front 3.
10-4.
Leading the pack, charging, followed by the number 5 McLaren. So the chart, oh, 5, you're going to have to lose a position. You're good. And charging all by himself. 4 cars in the back there, fighting for position. Charging Light is a regular car build from the manufacturer Ford. Oh, Seeker goes high, loses a position to Critter and Rocket. Let's go look at this battle. Critter and Rocket, both McLarens, fighting for the second place position. Oh, little wheel tap between Critter and Rocket. Rocket's going to take that second position and try to make a move to first. First place, making distance, to say the least. Two seconds split first and second. And Rocket's starting to go away from Critter. I don't expect this to be a caution-filled race. I expect it to be more of a green flag all the way to the end type of race. But just in case, we have Rocket trying to make some time up. Let's see. don't say that. Rocket did make up about 0.2 seconds after 3 laps, so that's good to see. Let's go look at this battle in the back between a Chevy and McLaren. Ooh, side by side. You're good, Seeker. Cars are pretty spaced out, to say the least, JD.
Would appear that way. Would appear that way.
I think I could have made them a little bit quicker, the cars, at least. But I think these are fine setups for what it's worth.
Listen, this is for what it's worth. This is a trial and error run. This is the first oval race in AERL, so
Yeah. Our
it's kind
next
of the
one.
testing grounds to see what works.
Yeah, our next oval race isn't for another 3 weeks though. After this, we got 2 road courses next.
Don't we go to Road Atlanta next
We
week?
oh yeah, the 55 lap race to see. We're calling it the race to end hunger.
The Race to End Hunger is a crazy name there.
Well, you gotta take what you can give. We're racing for Dixie Vodka today.
We like that Dixie vodka, boys.
Well, back to the action. Rocket starting to get a gap on Critter now. I wonder. I want to know what's going on with Seeker. He should be having some good draft.
He's been getting out of his line. He's been struggling to hold it on the bottom.
Ah, I expected the Chevy to do some domination here.
Guess the first oval race, so I honestly didn't come in here expecting much.
Hey, last week's winner, who was what was it? Navy's not here, so we're gonna have a new winner regardless.
This is true. It might
It's
be another manufacturer too.
yeah. You have Charging's first race of the season, so Ford is getting out there, to say the least. And he's led
And
every single lap too at that.
and might I say that Ford probably has one of the most unique designs in terms of aero for their car this season. Very unique.
Very unique indeed. But he does have one of the beautiful schemes of the season, to say the least.
For what the car is, I'm not gonna lie. Whoever made that scheme, they made it work.
Thank you.
If he made that scheme or you made that scheme, you made it work.
Well, he told me what he wanted. He wanted a Dixon throwback, so that's what we went with. Critter starting to catch up to a Rocket, but Rocket and Critter making the McLaren's workhorses trying to catch Charging. We might see a three-way battle here soon.
Well, it's all about the
Expects,
draft.
yeah, the draft and the pitting too. I would not be surprised if I see cars pitting like 5 laps early to test tracks. Because we did learn last week, pits does matter.
Well, that's one thing for sure is we're probably gonna see the Chevy pit first, if anything.
Chevy and the Ford pit first, honestly. So the Ford trying to keep time out there is probably the best thing for him. A Crucian Dale, right?
Try to make an appearance there.
He wanted
He
to
wanted to
see.
come see. He wanted to come see Ford.
He heard Ford was in the lead, so all right.
He heard the Ford mentioned, and it summoned him.
So we have Rocket and Critter battling it out for second right now, but Charging needs to understand the importance of holding a lead right now because he does have those two McLarens wanting to come fight for him.
And mind you, those two McLarens probably have the best fuel economy in terms of their fuel gauge. So
Yeah, I mean, after seeing what happened last week, I did turn it down. They only have a 200 milliliter difference between the Chevys, but they only have a 100 milliliter difference between the Fords. So next season, I'm going to try to introduce fuel saving to these cars. So even though you have a larger fuel tank, if you don't know how to save your
contact 35.
ooh,
So Sub
contact in
Zero's
the
gonna
back. Gonna keep on Rocket here because Rocket's starting to make a great move to Charging. Charging struggling to hold a line, it looks like. Let's go on board with Charging in this 80 car. Like I said, I don't know how strong the draft is. I mean, I didn't test on anything. I just threw the cars in there like I had them for initial testing, and it looks like it's going to produce an interesting race here in a second. Critter and Rocket still battling for second, but Charging still trying to hold a lead. I know, Bubba. Let's go take a look in the back here at the 5.
0 in the pit.
Oh, Seeker in pits. He's about to go a lap down for this, but it's probably going to benefit him. If he's already pitted, that means we should be seeing charging light coming soon enough. But the question is he going to get pit lap twice?
He could.
Negative. We had the 5 up by him lonesome. He's
This time by,
about,
we're going to see a quarter way through the race.
oh yeah. I do apologize for the background noise. That is my kid having some intrusive thoughts about the TV. And we do have a second place change between Critter and Rocket. Critter goes up the track though. Rocket trying to make a move. Rocket just can't get to that inside. Critter holds it.
Now, with
With
Seeker being a lap car, this could be interesting in terms of the lead car possibly getting draft soon.
that, or he pits now and tries to save him some valuable time, because as we can see, Seeker got lapped when coming into pits. That's another thing. Like, you have to think about the 5 all the way back there in 4th. He's a good half a track back, so him pitting early might just do damage to him.
You also got to think about the fact that you're gambling on there being a caution if you go multiple laps down, too. So,
Yeah, and the way the race is looking, it might just stay green the entire race. So these 3 cars up front playing playing pick me at this point. Pick me for a caution or pick me to go early.
but as we
If
can see here, it does appear that Critter is closing the gap between him and the Ford leading up front that has been pretty dominant for this stint of the race.
oh yeah, and I do believe that Ford is getting draft.
Even if it is, it's just a little bit slight, but it seems to be that the 10 is still reeling him in slowly but surely.
The 5 with no one around, just chilling in the backfield there. Seeker a lap car in turn 2 now with the leaders in turn 1. Rocket just staring down 1 and 2 right now. Do not be surprised if we see this Ford pit though in the next 5 to 6 laps.
I think the biggest question is here, when will the McLarens pit?
Well, my question was did Seeker pit on his own or did he genuinely need to pit? It could have been those things where he's trying to play a fuel strategy. Maybe he went a lap down to see how everything would go.
Whatever it is, it was a risky strategy to say the least. Personally, I think he didn't go under there in his own power. I think it was definitely one of those things where he might have needed to pit because I don't know exactly how the draft works, but if the system works anything like it did in my league now, then the draft burns a slightly bit quicker in the draft. Just a tiny bit.
Yeah, next season, well, during the off season, I am going to experiment with fuel saving. That way, everybody has the ability to use skill set to fuel save. So, like, letting off the gas will burn less fuel than you holding the gas and things like that. So, something to look forward to next season.
Well, it would appear that the Ford seems to be extending the gap in the lead margin, and now Rocket has closed in on Critter for the second place battle.
And just like that, we are almost going to be at lap 36 now. So, not a big surprise there. Let's go take a look at the number 5. Question is this, if I'm the 5 in the position that I'm in right now, do I pit even if I don't need to just to see if I can get involved?
Well, if I was the 5, I would stay out just a little bit longer to see what the other McLarens do, just to experiment. with a few things because again, you're really gambling right now on if there's going to be a caution or not because it's not even a guarantee at this point that Seeker will even be able to get his lap back as the leaders seem to be reeling him in pretty quickly at this point, all
Yeah,
things considered. So it's really a dangerous game to be pitting this early on unless you really it's detrimental to being able to compete.
yeah, I can agree. And with this being the first, like I said, oval race of the season, this only being race 2 of the seasons, I mean, this is more of an experimental run for everybody that's on the track right now because I think our next oval track is Indy, actually. It's either,
Oh, we got
oh,
contact in the back, 2 cars into the grass.
and they are good, no caution needed. Oh, they still wrecking each other. McLaren's causing some mischief on each other. And Seeker goes another lap down.
That seems to be no problem there for the Ford to get around him, but a very unfortunate thing for Team McLaren there. The 44 went for a hole that just wasn't exactly there yet, and he miscalculated. And it was might have been just a little bit of misjudgment on both of them. The 10 came down and tried to block when the 44 was going for a hole that just wasn't there yet, and he does the same thing, but it's for him to go down into the pits.
Critter now in pits, unfortunately. He's going to take the opportunity to pit. You got him, right?
I do.
Good.
Now, I do not know if that was intentional or if he was just because he got shots by the 44 on accident on his part. It looked to be the 10 just wrong place,
He's
wrong time there. Late
barely
block as well.
barely going to get out of pits behind the leader, but he's only one lap down. Whoa! And that's going to bring no caution, no caution. Don't know what happened. I think he hit that grass. That's that Indy
Yeah, the pit
500
access road is
grass.
sketchy. That pit access road is sketchy.
So 2 cars have pitted, both going a lap down.
And both making contact with one another.
Yeah. So now Axel to third.
So at this point, Axel might not even need to really. He might not even really need to worry about pitting this early on as he's in the top 3. So he's already getting good big buck points right now if he just stays where he is. But eventually he will need to pit. But I'd imagine that we're not going to see the rest of the McLarens at least, pit for another maybe 4 to 5 laps or so.
Charging's and going into pits. He typed MP and he's in. I got him.
Alrighty, so that is going to leave, I believe, Rocket and I
Cramey.
believe also
Gotta wait till it goes green.
it's going to leave Rocket and Axel being the only one on the lead lap.
Charging's coming out of pits with the leaders coming at him.
Sorry, Cramey. I keep calling him Axel. Cramey and Rocket are
And
the only 2 on lead lap right now.
oh,
Oh man, he comes up right in front of Rocket around a
he
pit access road.
the pit access road killer.
Really is.
So if that's the case, if he ran that all the way like he did just now, Charging might not need to pit until like laps 90.
Which is begs the question: will he pit earlier than that? Because at that point in lap 90, you might not come back from that pit strategy. So it might be a question of does he pit earlier than lap 90?
Well, just gonna say this now. I think the McLarens are gonna have to pit within the next 5 laps.
And just as you said it, Rocket dives for pit lane. I
All
got him.
right, Charging gets his lap back. If Axel can get around, he will be the race leader. And he does. Axel is now your leader. With Critter and Charging both getting their lap back. And Seeker will be only 1 lap down because of this.
It's going to be the first time on the pit access road for Rocket. Let's see how he handles it.
Rocket about to go a lap down. No, he's going to go around. Smart move.
Very smart. I feel like that's something we need to mandate in the next few races that you don't need to use the pit access road. It's just causes unnecessary chaos.
Well, It's their choice. I didn't say they had to use it. They they just assume. And just like that, Rocket's not a lap down, but he does have the leader on his butt, to say the least. Charging Light after that pit rotation, I do believe, is in third.
But then you also got to account for pit strategy. So Crammy Knight might not actually be first. Instead, Critter and Charging Light might be the battle for first as of right now.
And there
As
goes
Crammy's
the.
going to die for pit lane. I got my eyes on him.
Alright, let's go to the front of this pack, which is Critter now.
Crammy misses pit box. Oh, man, he missed it again. Not a very good pit stop there for Crammy. Going to lose a heap of time here.
And just like that, Critter is your race leader. Critter, second place finish at Toronto. Wanted to get the win, made an unnecessary move in a terrible corner, which cost him what could have probably been a closer finish. He tried to make a move
Maybe
and
even
just,
a win.
yeah, he cost himself that, but it is A-okay. He's here to get redemption. With
A
that
quick
being,
rebound for him.
and with that being said, let's talk about Seeker. Seeker only one lap down after just going to pit once. I don't know what's going
But
on with.
I
I
don't know, that
just.
early pit strategy, I don't think that was it. I really don't think it was. I think this is probably not something that he's going to be able to come back from unless we have a late race caution, which is entirely probable. But it's
Yep.
just for the way that it's going for him right now, it just doesn't seem very likely. So Seeker might have just put Team Chevy in a hole here that they just might not be able to call back from unless we see a caution in the near future.
Speaking of which, let's just talk about. Oh, great. Am I good? I'm lagging right now
Yeah,
because of the storm. But,
I mean, we can still hear you.
okay, well, let's talk about Critter here, where he got forced into pits, made a pit stop, and now because of it, he's first. With a straight, like, gap, too, at that.
I mean,
So,
hey, more power to him.
well, I know
I mean, how that plays out.
with everything being said, the McLarens might have only needed to use one pit stop, same way with the charging, but they might not want to test the waters because they all pitted all around lap 50, so it's going to be
I'd say
tight.
they might be with the way they pitted. I can confidently say I think I see them running maybe a just bit shy of the full race distance on one pit. I think they're gonna at least the Ford of Charging Light is going to need to go to pits at least one more time before races, and I think Ford might be a bit short on the full race distance with one pit.
Yeah, I think the same thing with McLaren. I think McLaren's going to be 2 laps shy. I mean, even if they run out of the gas, they still have speed, but it's not going to be like speed. It'll only be 60 miles an hour if they run out of
So they
fuel,
might have to
so
lighten McQueen it across the line,
who
hop across
knows?
the line. Now begs the question, Pappy, does a car running out of fuel on the active racing surface bring out a caution?
No. Long if he does not impede the race. So if he's out there, right, and let's say that Seeker runs into him, then yes, that would be a problem. Critter would be the cause of it because he was out of fuel. We'll just use Critter as the example, right? He runs out of fuel. Rocket's pitted again.
Gutsy call here by Rocket.
I think he wants to
Maybe just
confirm that he can make it to the end.
might have just been listening to us and honestly might be a smart move in the long term here for the number 44 McLaren. Might have just
Get
made
down.
probably the best call that we've seen tonight in terms of pit strategy. So that begs the question, are we going to see Critter and Cramey do something similar and maybe we even see
Charging's in. I got him.
Charging trying to go for a similar pit strategy?
He realizes that with Rocket pitting, he needs to get back out in front of him, so you're good. Charging's out there. Critter just passed him, so he's a lap down. Seeker also had pitted. Seeker, they've all avoided that access road. They don't
They're
want it.
avoiding it like it's the fucking coronavirus.
That's good. So everybody has made 2 stops except for Critter and Cramey. So keep that in mind, and that could be the difference here. Critter trying to get to Cramey to put him a lap down. At so it will be
The
interesting.
question is at this point. Sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Now the question is here for the number 10 is, does he think he can go the distance? I mean, the confidence might be there, especially after the performance that he might have had at Toronto, but it's really all coming down to how early did he pit, and does he think he can make it the full distance? And even at that, does he think that he can hold it on the racing surface going 60 and bringing it home in first still?
Well, I'm just going to say this, not because he's my driver, but just from common knowledge. He did pit before that 50 lap mark. So just because he pitted earlier, I don't believe he has enough to make the distance. But he might just try to push it to the point where no return. He could pull a Navy at Atlanta and run out of a fuel in SRL, right? Where he ran out of fuel in turn 3 and ended up getting pushed across the line by everybody else. But teammates here between the 10 and 5, so maybe the 5 helps his teammate by letting him get the draft. Let's go take a look at the first person to pit, though, in the second rotation, Rocket, who is currently apparently behind.
Charging.
Yeah. Which I think that's right. Yeah.
I don't know.
Charging.
The ticker says that charging's a lap down and Rocket's not, but I'm not sure the ticker's entirely correct.
Actually, it would make sense. Then I'm looking at laps. Critter's on 68. Axle's on 67. Charging lights on 67. Rocket just, yeah, everybody's a lap down except for, it's just charging lights in front of Rocket. Critter
There's some
getting,
interesting. Oh,
Critter up there with his teammate now, about to put him a lap down, which would mean Axel is now the lucky dog.
so does this mean that Critter is the only one on the lead lap?
Yes.
That is surprising for an oval race. That is really surprising.
But the question now begs is, does he risk the pit?
He
Like
might
he,
have to. I mean, Critter right now is gambling on the fact that he might have pitted too early. So the 5 might just go for pit lane like everybody else did, and betting on the 10 not being able to make it to the finish,
because you
having to go
gotta,
to get that
they
touch and
still
go.
gotta, in order to get in front of him, they all have to make a rotation. They have to pass him and get a rotation. Seeker's the only one that's in this whole ordeal that doesn't really like matter.
It's not really feasible. Like I said, that early pit stop really put them in a hole that they're just not going to be able to come back from unless we see a caution, which again, with all the lap cars is entirely possible. But with how spread out the field is getting within 30 laps of racing left here in the Dixie 400, it just doesn't seem that feasible.
If I'm Critter, just because I'm a lap ahead, I would just go ahead and pit. But
Yeah, I'd rip the Band-Aid off now, and that way you have a fighting chance, maybe not waiting to the ass end of the race, but he might just have that confidence to go the distance.
I mean, with Axel giving, well, with Cramey giving him a little bit of draft there and allowing him to go around him, I mean, that could have helped as well. But
Definitely, and we're reaching the 75 point with 25 to go here for the Dixie 400. It's been a very interesting race, full of weird, very weird and balls to the wall type of fuel strategy, to say the least. But
between everybody at that.
yeah,
But I am going to say
very
this.
risky.
If Charging keeps making up the time that I'm seeing, Charging might have an opportunity towards the end of the race here.
Well, keep this in mind. Charging, I believe, he's in third, right? I mean, he's right behind the number 5. He probably has draft right now. And you look up at Critter. Critter has no help. He has no draft. He has no one in front of him.
Correct.
So Charging could be making up immense amount of time, and he's got plenty of time to do so. And again, he's also leaning on that fact that the 10 might just have to pit at some point. Maybe
Even
not,
even
possibly.
even if the 10 pits, everybody has to make another rotation around just to get in front of them.
This is true. So 10 really has the cushion to lean on here, putting the entire field a lap down.
Because
So the 10 might have the winning strategy here.
what may have been an accident turned into probably the winner.
And he can
Rocket.
thank his McLaren teammate for that one.
Oh yeah, Rocket in third. Well, no, fourth technically, with no one in sight. Charging in third, trying to chase down the 5 for second. Critter in front. Everybody but Critter a lap down. Also, drivers, please understand that if you are a lap down, you need to complete all 100 laps. So, if you're a lap down, you must complete it until race end.
So I guess that would mean for Critter, if everybody else behind you is a lap down, I'd probably still keep going. That way you're not in the track surface in front of active drivers.
Once you finish right, go around and go down pits. That way, it's just out of the way. And if yeah, I don't. With 19 to go, I'm just skeptical. Because, like, maybe he wants to run out of gas and see if the speed will get him around the track quick enough. But,
But
there,
that's just such a gamble. That is such a gamble.
especially with Critter, I mean, not Critter, with Charging Light making up time. That's the biggest thing. That is
Because
throwing
how fast are the cars going regularly right now,
100
even without draft?
150.
150.
150 miles per hour.
How about studs per second? Because you're
300,
set as though studs per
300 and
second.
studs per second says 355. When they run out of gas, it's 60 studs per second.
I
So
don't know, man. I don't think 60 studs per second would be enough.
he'd go down to 20 miles an hour.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't think it's enough.
I wouldn't risk it. I would just take the pit, man.
I mean,
He's
if he thinks he can do it, he can. But it's such a risk.
he's saying, up
Yeah,
there he
he is.
goes.
He is.
Oh, you were close. Next time, be careful about that 5 pit stall. If all 4 of your tires would have went through that 5 pit stall, Critter, you would have been done. And here we go. Charging Light needs to get back around to try to catch him. But Critter's just out. He's out of there.
Yeah, but Critter's all by himself. No draft, no help. But can he hold everybody off behind him?
He has Axel in second and Charging Light in third.
Who are now actually back on the lead lap, I presume.
Everybody, even Rocket is all in the lead lap.
Everybody besides the Chevy 00.
Wait, no, Rocket's still a lap down.
That's interesting.
Hold
I
on.
don't think it. No, 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 no. It switched. It switched. It switched. He's not a lap down.
He's just so far behind. Everybody is trying to chase down the 10. Well, if Critter doesn't make anything too drastic, I think he has it.
And not to mention, if
His
he can keep making up time on his teammate, they're trailing behind the last place car. He might start getting drafted, and it might be over.
Or maybe Axel can get enough draft to catch him within 13 to go. charging. The two closest cars right now are the 5 and 80. So Seeker out in front of Rocket. Then you got the only car by himself, Critter.
Well, it was a close fuel strategy call, but it appears that Critter just had it down today here from Homestead, Miami.
Son, stop making a mess. I don't feel like getting the vacuum after you.
What seemed to go wrong for him at Toronto last week all seems to be quickly turning around in the 10's favor this week here in the Dixie 400 as he's now crossed the stripe with only 10 to go in the Dixie 400.
4 lead changes this race, just to say the least. The only person that did not touch the lead was Seeker. Only Seeker did not touch the lead all day.
I got to say, as a team owner, that frustrates me, but it's also a fact of I also understand it's the first time on an oval in AERL, but it's also a first time on the ovals in a while. The last time I believe Seeker was in a car like this was at Indianapolis about a month ago, 2 months ago almost. So
Critter, be careful with going up under the apron. If all 4 of your tires go under the apron, I'm going to have to ask you to slow down, dog. And that's something you don't
you're gonna
want
have to
right
do.
now.
You're gonna have to count Mississippi's.
No, I'm just going to do what I typically do, which is type on my keyboard. One finger, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And once I hit the 5 key, he goes. What's wrong with Seeker?
Types A in the chat. Is something wrong? Did he make contact with Rocket? No, Rocket's around him. Something must have happened to Seeker because he's now well behind Rocket, who was just behind Seeker not just a few laps ago.
6
We
to
go back to
go.
Critter off of turn 2 with about damn near a straightaway separating him from second place. I think it's all wrapped up in a tight, neat little bow for the number 10 crew today. 5 to go across the stripe. And it's all clear roads ahead for the number 10.
Charging, trying to make an effort. What's the what?
Now, even with maybe the lack of on-track passing, the strategy was interesting. It made this race pretty dang entertaining to not just commentate, but also watch to see play out. The lack of on-track production, at least for today, was made up for in
Strategy.
damn near exquisite pit strategy that played into this race way more than I think anybody expected it to, especially for an oval.
Oh yeah. With that being said, though, you do have Axel and Charging Light within about half a second of each other, so we might see a battle for second here soon. Charging trying to get that draft, but Axel swinging back and forth. Axel has yet to pit but once too, so just saying he might have been the only car to do a one pit stop strategy. It's just sad that he got put a lap down with 2 to go. Critter exiting 2 now.
I might be mistaken. I thought I saw him go down pit lane, but you might be right. I think he might have done the one stopper. But out of turn number 4, the number 10 is going to see the white flag come out across the flag stand at the stripe. Final lap for the Dixie 400. The 10 wraps it around turn number 1 and 2 in the high side. No one behind him as he charges down the back straightaway one final time. Now into 3 and 4, wraps it around the high side again. And ladies and gentlemen, your race 2 winner of the AERL IndyCar season is fucking Critter. Let's go.
You had a struggle there, my friend. Second place,
My
Axel. Third
God.
place, being a Ford. Coming to the line is Rocket in fourth, and going around the track one more time, Seeker in fifth in that Chevy. So we're going to go
I
ahead,
apologize for my language there, and I apologize for the stutter.
and we will see the 10 team in victory lane. Critter over there trying to do his thing. So that is it. Critter, followed by the 5, followed by the 80, followed by the 44, then followed by the 00.
Quite the rebound here from Homestead, Miami for the number 10 team. Came so close at Toronto, but gets the job done today on the first oval of the season.
You're good, dude. You're good. And just like that, Critter wins here at Homestead.